Hey guys, it's Tia. Welcome to the video, as always. First of all, sorry about switching back to a webcam format. I thought I owed a quick explanation. If you can't be asked to hear it, then you can skip to the timestamp on screen right now. So the situation is, I'm currently moving and my filming equipment is at the new place. Also, I think it's worth mentioning, I will be traveling a lot on short notice this year, mostly between three places. It's just, those three places that I'm going to, but my point is, it's not really practical for me to be carrying all the stuff back and forth. It's mainly just the lights, to be honest, but setting it up takes time as well. Therefore, expect some webcam videos in between the nice, shiny 4K videos you're all used to. My upload schedule is pretty appalling, not gonna lie, but when I'm at the place where I do have my equipment, I will try and film a proper video. Hopefully it's not too much of a downgrade, but you know.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Just to remind you, if you haven't opened an Etsy shop yet or you want to open a new shop, then I have a link down in the description to 40 free listings if you sign up using that link. Anyway, let's talk about Etsy descriptions and some more SEO stuff you won't want to miss. So in my Etsy SEO guide, which by the way was meant to be the most concise and complete guide on exactly how I do my own listings and optimize traffic on Etsy, I said that descriptions are not indexed on the Etsy search engine and they're more for the customer than anything. They will be indexed on Google, but not on Etsy itself. That's basically what I've read online the entire time I've been selling on Etsy. If we look at help.etsy.com, it says the first 160 characters of your item description is used to create the meta description for your listing page. But I always assume that's referring to Google, Bing, whatever, not the actual Etsy search engine, right? There's also other sources saying Etsy does not look in descriptions yet. But as you can see, I got a comment on this video saying that apparently Etsy is now using descriptions in searches. So I was like, oh, that's new. I mean, if this is true, then I wanted to know the extent to which they take descriptions into account, because if that means any keywords that you put in the description comes up in search, albeit lower down than keywords from titles and tags, but the result still shows up when people search for words in the description, then that's a big deal. So why is that a big deal? Well, first off, it would change the way I write my descriptions entirely. I have over 400 listings across 2 accounts, and if that's true, then I will be editing most, if not all, of my descriptions. So that's a pretty significant time investment. Also, for the marketplace in general, you could literally put any keyword in the description and there's basically no limit as to the number of keywords that you can stuff in there. So the I think the maximum length for descriptions is like 100k characters or something. So it's going to be a mess, right? Like, surely they can't just let your listing show up for any keywords that you put in the description. And that is exactly not what they're doing. That would be ridiculous. I did a few experiments to confirm this. So the first one was I typed in a random string of letters and numbers, something like this. Basically, I just smacked my keyboard. And the first thing that came out, I copy and pasted that into the descriptions of some of my listings. Then I waited about an hour, which should normally be long enough. It usually takes like less than 5 minutes for Etsy to update any changes in the titles and tags. So this thing that I typed in, I can't remember what it was, but it was like, a random string of letters and numbers into the Etsy search engine and nothing came up. So those listings with this in, it didn't come up. Maybe you could argue that an hour isn't enough time for the search to index that quote unquote keyword. So I searched for some words I knew were in the description, but not in my titles or tags. So one example is that I sell fonts. Sometimes I give the fonts like wacky names, just random names like these people, right? This is not my listing, by the way, but I never put the actual name in the title or tags because that's a waste of space because people are not going to be searching for this name. It's just a bit of fun, I actually searched for some of my font names and nothing came up either. And bearing in mind those listings had gotten sales before, they'd been up for several weeks and I didn't change the descriptions at all since I first uploaded them. So no, putting as many keywords in your description as possible is not going to make your listing show up for those random keywords. However, the descriptions are doing something and I will explain exactly what they're doing. But firstly, if you need sources to confirm that they are using descriptions now, got this blog post from an official community manager in the announcement section of the Etsy forums, which says now Etsy search is looking for keywords within your listing description. This was posted on 17th of May, so just about a month ago. It also says in the Etsy seller handbook, so this page is called How Etsy Search Works. So it says for query matching, descriptions will be used. Okay, so when a customer enters a search query on Etsy, we look at the titles, tags, listing descriptions. Now, if we search for this page on the Wayback Machine, which is a website that basically shows us snapshots of web pages back in time, we can look at this page in 2020. So this is the same page, right? And we can see that in query matching, they have said titles, tags, categories, and attributes, but not descriptions. So yeah, they have updated that. So this is the page today, and this was the page back in 2020. So yeah, they have updated the page to say that officially they will be using descriptions. Now, I believe this is the only place that they've said this. I've also looked in the Etsy blog and the Investor Relations Center. On a side note, I did find some very interesting stuff in their quarterly SEC filings. As you might know, Etsy's increased their fees, the transaction fee to 6.5% from 5% previously. So we can get some insights from their financials as to how they're using that money and sort of whether they're doing well in that department. But that's a video for another time. Let's stay on topic and talk about descriptions. So I'm going to explain what impact I think descriptions have on your ranking, and I'll be explaining exactly how I'm writing my descriptions from now on. I'll give you my formatting so you can use it too if you want to, because as I mentioned in the other video, I have not paid much attention to putting keywords in the description so far. It's mainly just been for the customer's benefit, right? So I'm in the middle of editing all of mine at the moment, and I've already been seeing results, so I'm going to keep doing that. Yeah, let me explain. So the first 160 characters of your description is what's going to be shown in the search engine preview, and that's what Etsy is going to be looking at for query matching as well. So you want to make sure what you're doing is pretty much having the same keywords from your title and tags in the first 160 characters of your description as well. So for example, if this is my title and these are my tags, so this example was from my previous SEO video, and notice that the same keywords are in my tags and title. Okay, so break them up if you have to, as I've done here, and also include 13 tags. I think I've only got 10 here, but the point is that keywords on their own in either the title or the tags are not very useful. It's the synergy, if you will, of having that keyword in both the title and the tags that helps you rank higher for that keyword. And now that applies to the description as well. So if you can't get all the keywords from your title into your tags, then the description is the place to put them. And since I started doing this about a week ago, I searched for some of my listings that were edited in this way. Some of those listings haven't made sales yet since I edited the description, but their ranking did improve. So one of them went from page 4 onto page 3, so that's an improvement in ranking, right? Apparently that was for no other reason than the fact that I put the keywords in the first 160 characters of the description. And my sales and traffic have increased overall since last week. You know, I don't know whether that's from editing the description or just because I've been uploading more listings in general. Shop's also getting older, a lot of other factors. But what I did see was that there was an improvement in rankings in the listings where I edited the description to include keywords that I had in my title and tags in the first 160 characters, right? Now, as I said, I did those experiments, just putting random keywords in the description, and they didn't show up. So don't be using the first 160 characters of the description to stuff keywords that are not in your title and tags already, because that's not going to help you show up for them. It only improves the ranking for the keywords that are already in your title and tags. Hopefully that will make sense. So what you want to try and do is write custom paragraphs for each of your listings that kind of make sense to the customer. They probably won't read it properly. They'll just their eyes will just skim over it, but just try and get those keywords into the first 160 characters. And then next, we want the usual stuff. So what's included, clothing, sizes, weights, or whatever you're selling, how to contact you by message, commercial licensing if you're selling digital products, and then also a link to your shop and saying that there's a discount for your shop as well. Now, this section at the very end is where you can stuff keywords if you really want to. So as I said, this is not really going to make a difference. It's not going to impact your Etsy search rank for different keywords. It's just going to impact whether you show up on Google or not for those keywords. As you know, there's like a billion different web pages on Google, so it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. But if you can, might as well. Why not? You can just write a paragraph once and then copy and paste it for all your listings, because there's no point writing a custom paragraph for each listing. It's just for Google. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to say, if you like this product, then check out my shop at my shop link. We have a sale going on right now. I always have a sale on my shop, and there's a something % discount on all products. And then you can say we also sell, and then just rattle off all the keywords from your shop. You can basically list all the things you sell in this last section as alternative keywords for this listing, and then copy and paste this onto the end of the description of the rest of your listings. As I said, it's probably not going to do much because there's a billion other web pages ranking on Google, but you only have to write this once and just copy and paste it into the rest of your listings, so it's not too much effort anyway, right? So that's how I'm going to be doing the descriptions on Etsy. Hopefully you found that useful, and let me know if you have any questions. We're seeing you in the next video, and that's it for today.